and maybe they'd be happy.
And I dig those rhythm and blues. I was
Yeah, it's nice.
Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Don't be Chevy to the levee.
Yes, Sir Hairless here. Home Free, American Pie. This one was brought to my attention and it's a special one. It's a classic song, most people will know it. If not the whole song, then definitely the chorus. The song is quite long, it's over 8 minutes. It's special because the song's writer and singer, Don McLean, he's singing this with Home Free. This is from 2021. The song originally was released in 1971, so 50 years later. That's crazy. And Don himself, he was born in 1945, so he would be in his mid-70s for this. As for the song itself, "The day the music died" is a phrase that we hear in it quite a lot. It refers to a really tragic day in 1959, a plane crash where 3 rock and roll stars died. The Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Ritchie Valens. Buddy Holly, he was only 22 years at the time, and Ritchie Valens, 17. Absolutely awful. And the rest of the song, well, it's a long one, as I said, with many lyrics, so let's get straight into it, have a listen, and see what Home Free and Don McLean do with it.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while.
Classic
But
suspension.
February made me shiver with every paper I delivered. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
There's that phrase, "the day the music died," just before the chorus that I'm sure many of us know. We'll get there in a second. As this is a long one, I'll just pause here and there. I won't do too many, and I won't do it like I usually do, where I do 1 or 2 longer pauses going into analysis. Home Free don't usually make their arrangements crazily varied from section to section, like Voice Play might do, for example. And with a song like this, considering the subject matter, I don't think they will, especially as we have Don singing with them. So yeah, maybe a slightly different style for my video here, but we'll see what happens. Also, when I came to search this in YouTube, Home Free American Pie, a behind the scenes video came up, and as this is a special one, that could be quite interesting to see as well. So we'll watch that after this reaction, and you can find that at the link below over on my Patreon. We did the same thing for Man of Constant Sorrow. It also had a behind the scenes, so you'll also be able to watch that one if you missed it, along with many other videos and polls, that kind of thing. So while we're here, let's take a quick look at what we've heard so far. If you don't want to hear my thoughts, go to the timestamp. I really like this introduction. It's so interesting hearing how someone's voice changes over time. I'm always baffled by how many of these singers who were so popular many decades ago and still are today, Jeff Lynne of ELO, Frankie Valli, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, many more who perform into their old age. So let's just have a listen to the introduction of the original song versus here, just to hear the voice change. In the original, he would have been in his mid-20s.
a long, long time ago. I can still remember.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile.
How that music used to make me smile.
Now we notice the really intense vibrato.
Used to make me smile.
And the timbre differences, we don't need to talk about them, we can hear them. Really interesting though, and it sounds like Donny Boy in his mid-70s still has a powerful voice. They're singing in the same key. As for the arrangement itself, I'm sure there'll be so many differences. I like what Home Free do here though. Unlike the original, which comes straight in on the melody with some piano.
A long, long time ago.
With this descending, but here going back up. Home Free really play into that descent, falling.
A long, long time ago.
Nice subtle dissonances. We hear many more of these later on. I can't point them all out, but it really sets the scene and gives us an idea of what we might expect. I mean, I haven't even got to the chorus yet, but just from this introduction anyway. Nice, chordal. I love the choice to start in falsetto. Quite piercing. Grabs our attention, not expecting that. And that first note, very quietly we can hear it sustaining all the way.
Used to make me smile.
Really leaning into that dissonance here, for example. What other notes do we have?
That music used to make me smile.
There's that note. And the crux of the chord, creating this suspension which we'd expect to go. But no, the top note, the sustained note remains. And then...
And I knew if I had my chance.
It does the opposite to that falling idea that we start with. Instead of going down 3, now it moves up 3. Then comes back down into this really rich dissonance again.
And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance. And maybe they'd be happy for a while.
There is a resolved suspension, finally. I'm not saying finally, as in, oh, I've been longing for it. Just, we've been teased with unresolved suspensions. We've been left with these dissonances. They're not crazy, by the way. Home Free just have such a nice way of adding subtle clashes in there to just give these chords a scrunchy feel, especially with how tight their harmonies are, how well their voices work together. Tim with the bass there, could be Chance. At this point, I don't really know. They can all do everything. There's no beat. It's very chordal, really soft opening, grabs our attention.
But February made me shiver with every paper.
Having that one voice going through in the background very quietly reminds me of a choir in a way.
I delivered bad news on the doorstep.
Interesting parallel harmony there, creating some strange harmonies.
I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, let's carry on.
The day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.
Oh, the harmonies.
This'll be the day that I die.
Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, or do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage Franken buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day the music died.
I'm going to keep teasing us here before the chorus. There we go again, the day the music died. Go on, Chance. Blimey.
Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teen.
Even that note there, that's a G, which in the choral world is quite, well, towards the top of a tenor's range. Yeah, a few things on what we just heard, where we carried on from the chorus.
So bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Homophonic, they're all singing the same words at the same time with the same rhythms. There's no beat. Slower than later on when things speed up and the beat does come in. I just love arrangements like this.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys.
There's the first non-homophonic bit, again with that 3-note idea. Coming in.
Drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be.
Really causing dissonance there as the homophony comes back in.
This'll be the day
And again.
that I die.
And now the energy comes in, the tempo is increased. This does sound like quite a heavily produced one. That means that the tuning is spot on. The chords that we do here are perfect. They're perfect. And that, of course, makes the sound so tight. We get Chance here doing his thing. I find it very interesting listening out for their choice of when they sing homophonically, when they sing a melody and then a repeat of it or that kind of thing.
You have faith in God above. If the Bible
They join him for God above, then do a what-a-oh.
tells you so. How do you
Little echo in a way there. It's fun, you know, it's fun.
believe in rock and roll? Can music save you?
The do's playing a really rhythmic role whilst also a fundamental harmonic role, just repeating the chords in a more exciting way than the staticness that we had previously because the mood has changed.
I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off.
We can hear Austin's line there. How muted they've made it, almost like the echo of a ghost or something. I'm thinking of ghosts because of the tragic crash.
I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm
And Tim's bass part as well, so fun. I think subconsciously I keep going like dum, ba-da, dum, dum.
and you both kicked off your shoes. Man,
So apologies for that. All right, let's carry on from the next chorus.
I started singing bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove me Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone. That's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned, but no verdict was returned. And while Lyndon read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark. The day the music died, we were singing bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove me Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, and singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter skelter in a summer sweat.
Hi, Rob. Right. We've had Austin, we've had Rob, we've had Chance. I was literally just thinking about 10 seconds ago, Tim's bass is the most consistent part in this. I wonder if he's going to get a solo. If they're going through all of them, I imagine he will. Is it going to be high like Chance's was, or is he going to have a Tim Faust solo? We know Tim can go up there, so I guess we'll find out. Just a few things. I want to kind of keep this moving a little bit. There was one point where I was going, and that was just Austin's line during his own solo, the one that I said sounded like a ghost, still there. So we can hear that there are many more layers than we're actually hearing. or seeing 5 people.
Stole his thorny crown, the courtroom
And just before that, the line about the coat from James Dean.
he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me.
Nice harmonic change there. Chromaticism coming in, being used very carefully, very nicely to just subtly change the feel temporarily. It's a long song and it's repetitive due to the length. As I said before, I don't think Home Free tend to do crazy changes in their arrangements. They like to keep things consistent. So a little harmonic change like that lasting just a couple of seconds is most welcome, I think. When Austin started, I was just thinking, yeah, his voice works so well here.
Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone.
I also love the editing here. It's a cool video, isn't it? The attention to detail, the little postage stamp, and I love these clips that we can see.
That's not saying for the king and queen in a
Very nostalgic.
set practice in the park, and we
What a fun way to get a bit more variety in there. Back to the chorus again, Don McLean himself joining in. He's loving it. So much energy.
We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove me Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Even when I'm trying to mouth along to the lyrics, I just end up mouthing along to the bass part. Too catchy, too catchy. All right, let's carry on and see what else is in store. We had Rob coming in for his solo time.
helter skelter in a summer swelter. The birds flew off with a fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast. It landed foul on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass with the jester on the sidelines in a cast.
There's that harmonic change again.
Now the halftime air was sweet perfume while the sergeants played a marching tune. We all got up to dance. Oh, but we never got the chance, 'cause the players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed today? The music died.
Started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove me Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
Oh, and there we were all in one place.
There we go. Yes, now Tim. He's singing up as well, it sounds like. I guess we'll find out what he does here. Yeah, mostly it's the same musical ideas. We get the little bits of variety like that temporary harmonic change coming in, like this bit as well.
The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what
That's really solid. Going up to a top E there, it's quite high. Of course, Austin's line.
Oh, the halftime air was sweet perfume while the sergeants played a marching tune.
So when we get these new ideas that are introduced to us, they keep reappearing later on. It's this very, I don't know, like a subconscious way of maintaining our familiarity with what they're hearing. They can move to a new soloist with a different type of voice. Rob's voice, I'd call it a bit softer than the other voices. Maybe I can only use this because I tend to think in terms of like textures, but I'd say Rob's is soft, then Austin, then Chance, which is quite a gritty sound, but it's a different type of sound we're hearing. So when they give us these ideas that we've heard before, maybe we think, oh, okay, this is comforting. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just going on an absolute ramble. So to stop myself, let's carry on from Tim's entry.
Oh, and there we were all in one place. A generation lost in space, with no time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, 'cause fire is the devil's only friend. Oh, and as I watched him on the stage, my hands were clenched in fist of rage. No angel born in hell could break that Satan spell. And as the flames climbed high into the night to light the sacrificial rite, I saw Satan laugh
Miss American Pie. Drove me Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. I met a girl who sang the blues.
Okay, there's still 2 minutes left. It seems here, obviously, like it's calmed down a little bit. So I'm not sure if that will remain for the last 2 minutes or not. But I'm taking a punt here, and this will probably be my last pause until the end. Yeah, Tim's solo, great. I like how in the video they show Chance has taken over the bass.
A generation lost in space, with no time left to start.
To me, that still sounds like Tim, and very well could be because it's studio edited, but I like the consistency in the video nonetheless. This is a song that I never really choose to put on and listen to, but it's one where every time I hear it, I always just find it so catchy. It's also one of these songs where in the UK, if people are out in a pub or at a party or something, and this comes on, everyone will be singing, at least the chorus. Again, some new ideas, Austin being at the forefront.
Come on, Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack, splash.
Just really nice how we get that. On Jack, be quick. And then it continues down.
Jack, be quick. Jack, splash. Sat on a candlestick, cause...
And I haven't really mentioned Adam Rupp yet, but huge credit to him. The consistency with this beat is crazy, and for how long it's going on for, I know it's not live, but you know what I mean. And he's going for it. When we watch him in the video, he'll occasionally do a hand action that mimics the lyrics. All right, you'll have to spot Adam at the top up here.
Hands were clenched in fist of rage. No angel.
There are those fists of rage.
Hell.
Go on, Tim.
Break that Satan spell. And as the flames climb high into the night.
All right, let's carry on until the end. It's a long one, quite repetitive, just as is the nature of the song, but definitely not boring. I'm finding it very fun indeed. They've done a really good job of maintaining the energy. We started softly. We are maybe going to finish softly. I actually paused because I wanted to mention the sustained note I spoke about at the beginning that we start with. That has come back.
I die.
And again, its role here is just causing dissonance. As it's sustained, the other parts move.
I die. I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news.
Can still
But she
hear that
just
note.
smiled and turned away. And I went down to the sacred store where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. In the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. The church bells all were broken, and the three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast. The day the music died.
Nice melodic change there.
And they were singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This will be the day that I die.
What an ending. What an ending. I'll run you through my thought process at the end. I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. That ending affected me.
This will be the day that I...
We have that descending bass line. This will be the... Oh, too low for me. But as it's Tim, I was thinking we might get... And then down, which is absurdly low. That's here. The lowest note your typical choral bass is expected to sing is here. But no. Also, note the use of homophony, how powerful it can be, combined with the arrangement itself, which parts go down, which parts remain, which parts go up. No parts are going up here, so the descending motion is really exaggerated.
This will be the day that I die.
And then I was thinking, oh, it's just going to end with Don singing Die, how poignant. And then this last chord, it's the root chord, we're in G. I'll play everything close together so we can see them. And of course, the supertonic note number 2 is in there as well. Really nice. This is the kind of arrangement, mainly the first bit and the last bit that we end with, they're very, very similar, that I would love to transcribe. A rising part, quite the opposite of the falling motion we've been hearing elsewhere. And then you think on the last chord we're going to get, but no, it stays on the supertonic as that final unresolved dissonance. Poignant, as I said, reminding me of the tragedy that was the day the music died. Really nice arrangement, that one. Really good job as a longer song, a classic song, but of just keeping things interesting. The whole middle section so upbeat, all of them get a solo. Don, power in his voice at his age, but then the intro, different gripping. The outro, similar to the intro, also gripping. Yeah, I really like that one. Now, time for the behind the scenes video. Once more, if you'd like to see that, head on over to the link below that will take you to that video on my Patreon. And if not, thank you very much for watching. Would really appreciate a like and a share. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below other home free songs you'd like to see me do in the future. If you'd like to support me, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee linked below, or to join the community. The Patreon is linked on the screen now. Get access to exclusive content, and I will see you next time.